It cost Tri-C, the community college, over $18,000 to purchase an annual membership for its president, Dr. Alex Johnson, plus a month's worth of his expenses at the Signature Country Club in Solon. A club membership is written into Dr. Johnson's employment contract. But this isn't the only country club membership associated with Tri-C. Its foundation also has a separate membership for recruiting donors at the Canterbury Golf Club in Beechwood. That costs the foundation an additional $7,800 a year. In addition, the college also has a membership to the private Union Club downtown for over $3,000 a year and a fourth private club membership to the Shoreby Club along Lake Erie. That one costs over $4,000 a year.
The question here is a matter of degree. In order to keep Dr. Johnson connected, do you need the 4 private club memberships?
We feel that that's an expense that we invest in him. He has an opportunity again to stay connected with folks from a philanthropic nature as well as recruit others.
We spoke with John Scory, the president of the Tri-C Foundation Board, along with Andrew Randall, chairperson of the Tri-C Board of Trustees, as well as to Dr. Johnson himself. All of them see these type of expenditures, some running into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars for events and entertainment of donors, as part of what has helped Tri-C grow both its foundation and its overall success.
You would say they are necessary?
Yes, because in some instances, if you want to raise funds to the level that we have, you have to put yourself in a position to do that.
I'm taking 15 credit hours right now, and that's like $2,000.
That you're paying?
Yes.
Tanya Pitadorowski is a Tri-C sophomore. She understands Tri-C, like other educational institutions, needs to spend money to raise money for scholarships, including perhaps cultivating donors at private clubs. But she wonders, do you need 4 clubs, including 2 country clubs?
If they can cut down, they should, with the country clubs.
Likewise, Kayla Wilson, a Tri-C student, was most struck by one expense we shared with her that approached $3,600.
Would you be surprised to know they spent $3,600 on flowers at an event?
On flowers. That's crazy.
Wilson hopes to one day be a dental hygienist.
It's a very difficult, stressful process. So yeah.
To save for college?
Yes, it is.
As students, Kayla and Tanya do not have the full context of these expenditures, as the president of the Board of Trustees pointed out to us. The flowers, for example, were part of a large event designed to thank big donors. And there's no question that Tri-C has thrived under Dr. Johnson. The value of the foundation is now approaching $100 million, a significant increase, and the graduation rate is up significantly as well. Still, some of the expenditures at this taxpayer-supported institution may surprise you, starting with Dr. Johnson's own contract. In the last fiscal year, Tri-C paid Dr. Johnson over $390,000, made up of his base salary, a retention bonus, and a performance bonus. His contract, approved by the Board of Trustees, says he receives a $36,000 a year residence allowance, and Tri-C provides him a car to drive, paying for both his gas and his OnStar navigation system. Perks, by the way, are common these days in the contracts of college presidents.
We believe it's consistent with someone of his caliber, his skill set, his breadth of responsibility. And my thought is that if it was explained to someone in both sides of it, they would say, I understand.
I think some folks would be surprised by what's become normal. We pay for their gas, we pay for their nav system, we pay for their house. But do you think the taxpayers who've approved 3 tax hikes in the last 6 years for this institution think that their money is going for things like that are in that contract?
When 64% pass our current levy and 68% of the community that voted for our capital expenditure, I think that's a fairly ringing endorsement of what we're doing at the college. Now, they didn't vote on Dr. Johnson's contract, but embedded in their vote is the stewardship that he provides. I like the word appropriate better than fair, or an individual might have would they be surprised? I think it's appropriate.
The difference between appropriate and necessary, for us, I don't really think there is a distinction.
And there is a track record of success here. I would challenge that some are not necessary. I would challenge that you could buy your own gas or buy your own nav system and that they're not necessary. Is that a fair challenge?
Well, when you talk about those things, Bill, from my vantage point, they're not fair. And let me tell you why.
Dr. Johnson says unlike some other college presidents, he doesn't get a car allowance or a car, but drives a vehicle owned by Tri-C, a Chevrolet Traverse.
So the responsibility of ownership rests on the college. What they do is allow me to drive it, right? So the gas the insurance, the OnStar, the college, and Trustee Randall have agreed to accept that responsibility. Now, if they were giving me a car allowance, then it'd be a different story altogether.
There's a lot of success with this institution. Is the success born of all these expenditures? Or is there an entitlement mentality because we've had success, therefore it's okay we spend some money like this?
No, I think there's a cost of doing business.
Right. If you go to any institution, any organizations, there are going to be things that you might question.
Now, there's also been operational changes over the last few years that have saved this institution millions of dollars.
We're about transparency. We're here to help you do that as well.
Does any of what we've discussed give you any pause?
I think you have really asked the pivotal question. We will take stock of how we can become better. But in this particular instance, as I review those things that you have asked us about, I feel very, very strongly that they were indeed necessary because of what? The outcomes.
Bill Sheil, Fox 8 News.